What's good YouTube, it's Sean here, and in today's video, I'll be reviewing the Air Jordan 3 Retro Tinker NRG. These dropped on March 24th for a US retail price of $200 or a retail price here in Canada of $265. So the official colorway for this shoe is white, black, and fire red. If you guys haven't checked out my review of the Air Jordan 3 JTH, which is essentially a Justin Timberlake version of this shoe, I'll add the link to that video in the description box below. Basically, this shoe is leaping off the pages of the original sketch of the Air Jordan 3 by Tinker Hatfield back in the late 80s. So if you guys are wondering why this looks different than your standard Air Jordan 3, it's because this is essentially the prototype version that Tinker Hatfield initially sketched. As with most NRG releases, this shoe was also very difficult to get. So here locally in Toronto, these were available at select boutiques such as Livestock and Capsule, and they're also available on Nike.ca. So that's where I got lucky. These dropped at 4 a.m. and I was refreshing the website over and over again for 3 hours straight until I was finally able to add these to cart. I guess for that morning, luck was just on my side, as after I placed an order for this pair, I was able to go back into the queue, pick up another pair, and check that one out as well. So before we go into the details about the shoe, here's a quick look at the box. So this is the same box that the JTHs came in. So on the very top, instead of your standard Jumpman, we have Tinker Hatfield's signature done in red. And then on either side of the lid, we have this Jumpman Air done in this metallic red finish. As for the shoes themselves, so the majority of the upper is comprised of a tumbled white leather. The leather quality on this is pretty good, it's nice and soft, but based off of the general consensus from what I've been reading, if I had to rank them from best to worst, most people say it goes free throw line 3s and then the JTHs, and then these, and then the black cement 3s at the bottom. Regardless though, I had no complaints about the leather quality. Running up the center of the shoe, we have this smooth white leather with these perforations found throughout, and then the top 3 eyelets are done in this gray plastic, and then the bottom 2 eyelets are done in the circular red fashion. Moving on to the tongue, so the bottom half is done in the smooth white leather with perforations found throughout, and the top half of the tongue is plain. We do have this red Jumpman that's embroidered directly into the leather. Overlaid on top of the tongue are just your standard flat white laces. Taking a look at the back of the tongue, this is done in gray, and it features on both shoes a Tinker Hatfield signature embroidered in black. Found on the mid panel of the lateral side, we have this black Nike swoosh done in a smooth leather. Attached on the side of the shoe, these also come with this limited edition hang tag that features Tinker Hatfield's signature along with a Jumpman underneath. On the medial side, we don't have a swoosh, but instead we have this Nike word mark embroidered in gray. Right underneath this tumbled white leather, we have this smooth gray leather that wraps around the entire frontal half of the shoe. Wrapping around the toe box, we have this blacked out elephant print, and then when you take a look at the back of the shoe, we have more of this elephant print wrapping around the back heel. Probably my favorite part about this shoe is this back heel portion. So this heel tab is done in fire red, and it has this Nike Air branding done in white. So I really like this because it gives it so much of that pop. Normally for the Jordan 3, fire red is more often just used as an accent color, so for them to cover this back heel area in red makes this very visually striking. The leather found around this ankle collar area is similar to the leather found on the tongue, so it's a smooth white leather with perforations found throughout. The inner liner of the shoe is done in gray, and these also come with a gray insole that has Tinker Hatfield's signature etched in the middle along with a sketch of the Jordan 3. The upper of these Tinker 3s sit atop this foam midsole that's painted black along the upper half and white on the bottom half. Underneath the heel, we have this opening that reveals the airbag cushioning that's encapsulated within the midsole of the shoe. Flipping over to the bottom, here we have your classic, unchanged Air Jordan 3 outsole. So this is done in a combination of gray and white, and then we have this red accent along the forefoot, along with this Nike branding underneath the heel. In terms of sizing, so these fit exactly the same as all my other Air Jordan 3s, so I would stick with that same size. So for me, I wear between a size 10 and a 10.5 in most of my sneakers. I got these in a size 10.5 and they fit me perfectly. For reference sake, 10.5 is the same size that I typically wear for my Air Jordan 1, along with most of my Air Maxes as well. In terms of comfort, generally speaking, I find that the Jordan 3 typically is a pretty comfortable shoe. The insole that these come with are fairly padded, and overall, I'd say that it's a perfect shoe for everyday normal use. As mentioned earlier, the leather on these is pretty soft, so when I undeadstocked them, straight out the box they felt very good on feet. So now let me lace up these Tinker 3s and show you guys how these look on feet. Based on what I've been seeing in the sneaker community, this is a pretty polarizing shoe. A lot of Jordan purists really hate these modifications that have been added to this Jordan 3. For me personally, I always like a good story, and because these are supposedly based off of the sketch that Tinker did back in the 80s, I'm totally on board with these being a special edition release that's commemorating that fact. It's another story if Jordan Brand started making all their 3s with a swoosh and this Nike branding from here on out, but as far as this version goes, I'm really happy to add this to the collection. So let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of these Tinker Jordan 3s. If you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to give me that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button if you're new to this channel, and give me a follow on Instagram as well at sgo8. Be sure to check out my website as well at seango.ca. And until next time, thank you guys so much for tuning in, appreciate the support, and I'll catch you guys in my next review.